This is Beats, Rhymes, and Lounge, and I got a special guest with me today, DJ Vada, and we are live from the Key Spot. And remember, keys open doors. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Better than I should be. How
Yeah,
about that?
better than you should be. Nah, you deserve it, man. This is a good brother. He doubles as a DJ as well as a firefighter for the city of Cincinnati. So we thank you for your hard work. We know that's a tough job.
We appreciate y'all trusting us, man.
Yeah,
we're just here to do a job, bro.
For sure, for sure. So DJ Vada has a big event coming up, Stereo 25, and I definitely want to talk to him about that. But first of all, let's just start with your humble beginnings. Like, when did you start DJing?
I don't know. I felt like out the womb, man. I've always been a lover of music. Yeah. So my father was a firefighter. And so this is how this all ties in. So when he was at his respective firehouses back then, there wasn't a lot of black firefighters. So there was a lot of stuff done to him and the other black firefighters that was here. And like he had black beds, black plates, black sheets. Like, you know, they wouldn't break bread with him. You know, they'd come outside, his car windows busted because they didn't want him there, stuff like that. So he would come home and just listen to music to unwind. And he would grab me, I'd sit on the couch with him, and we just listen to music. So that's, you know, that's 24 hours of being in those hostile states. So when he came home, music was his muse, right? So we would sit on the couch and he'd listen to all types of different music. And I didn't understand until I got older what was going on. But him doing that, in fact, made me love music. Right?
That early memory.
Yeah, that early memory.
Man, that's beautiful, man, because music has the ability to heal, man. And so being a DJ, we was talking about it the other day, like you can really make a night, break a night, like the whole night depends on the DJ and
the DJ. It absolutely does. The DJ makes or break your night.
Yeah.
All right. You have a great night. Man, the DJ was live. That was hitting. You have a bad night.
Yeah.
That DJ wasn't shit.
Right.
And so it is a lot of pressure. You know, if you take it serious, it's a lot of pressure. Right. And whether it's 3,000 or 3,000, like you're there to make somebody's day better. Yeah, you're there to make somebody happy. And we know that everybody can't be satisfied, but the majority of people, they wake up that next morning and say, yeah, I had a good time. They're going to remember that DJ. Like I said, whether it's 3,000 or 3,000, they're going to remember that DJ.
Yeah, so it don't matter how many people in there. You got to rock the crowd.
No, you got to rock the crowd.
So how does it feel like when you DJ, like say you DJ in a spot and maybe it's a party of people who are into a genre of music you're not hip to or that you're not into? How do you handle that?
Well, DJing is not always when you're manipulating the turntables in front of the people. It's really the stuff you do in your off season, right? So if you start getting yourself knowledgeable about other genres, shouldn't be too hard of an issue.
Okay.
Now, somebody come up and say, play this country and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, first of all, where am I at? And first, why are you here? Like, I don't understand. So, but I'm going to do my best. Right? I'm always up for a challenge. So DJing is like a puzzle. You know, you got them 1,000-piece puzzles.
Oh, yeah.
And you're trying to figure out what piece goes where. So all the great DJs are always scanning the room, always looking up, trying to see that person that back. They nod their head. All right, that's cool. I got them for right now. The people at the bar, they nod their head. Cool. So after the 2.5 drinks, people are ready to dance. So it's a whole science to it. So the DJ booth is the fishbowl, right? So we see everything. We see the people that's supposed to be there, people that's not supposed to be there, all that stuff. We see it all. And so my goal is to get those people that's head nodding out to the dance floor, and the people that's on the dance floor to the bar. And the people from the bar to the dance floor. So it's a constant rotation. So at some point, you know that I got to play this song to break it up. So these people was tired. Let's send them to the bar. You send them to the bar, the people that's at the bar is like, that's my jams. They're going to come out and dance, right? Yeah. So it's a constant rotation and it's a science to it, right? So when you see a DJ out constantly scanning the crowd, that's their puzzle. They're trying to figure it out.
Amazing.
So you'll never remember what was played at 10 o'clock, but you're always going to remember it was played at 1 o'clock. right? The last hour of your set is the witching hour. That's gonna make or break your legend. So when you out there, and DJs, if you listening, when you out there, don't matter how much the hot stuff you play at 10 o'clock. The witching hour starts from 12 to close.
Vada giving y'all the sauce. I had no idea. Vada giving y'all the sauce, man. Take heed. You've been DJing since 96, right? Yeah, so that was, man, I was outside 96. So what was it like your first gig? You remember?
Oh, it was scary. It was scary, man. It was a somebody's house party. I think it was a birthday party or something like that. And you know, people coming up and asking me for stuff that, like, let me look through my CD case. Yeah, let me look through that.
Yeah.
You know, it was humbling. Right? You know, the people end up having a great time, but it's just that pressure of people coming up to you and saying, "Hey, Chakra man, you got that new Outcast?" It's 96, right? You're like, "Yeah, I got it. Well, play number 8." Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Whatever it is, huh?
Yeah.
That time, right?
Now, before then, I mean, that was the first professionally paid gig.
Okay.
I was dabbling in before, and then even messing up my dad's records back in the 80s, right? And we had a conversation before about that. But well, my first professional gig was in 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it that, is there a certain DJ that you looked at growing up, or somebody that you emulated early that made you want to do that and fall in love with that element of hip hop?
It was a lot of it, because I mean, grew up with hip hop. Like, hip hop turned 50 when I turned 50. Right? And so it was, you know, being in Cincinnati, we was not as exposed as a New York or anybody else, but you know, hearing the Jam Master Jays, hearing the Jazzy Jeffs, and hearing, you know, Grandmaster Flash, you know, manipulate records that we listened to, and it's like, I want to do that in some shape or form. You know, jacking up my dad's records and having to sneak out and buy him some new ones to replace the ones so he wouldn't even know. I found out later as a adult he knew. I was like, man, all right. So it was just the fascination with manipulating music, right? Like, how can you do that? That's pretty cool, you know. Listening to Eric B. and Rakim, you know, Eric B. cutting at the end of the song, it's like, man, this is cool. Listen to DJ Scratch on So What You Saying? I was like, that's it. I'll be a DJ. Like, that's what I want to do. So it's just the fact that the DJ holds so much control.
Yes.
Yeah, the DJ holds control. Like,
the DJ was prominent before the MC.
Yeah.
The MC was just there to hype up the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you know, the person to get the crowd, and the DJ was the one, you know, he was a star, just looping and, you know, doing all types of tricks. So, in the park. We're going to get to that in a minute, but yeah, in the park. It started in the park. Yeah.
So it's definitely that on a national level. Now, on a local level, I'll say DJ D Money and DJ Biz, because, you know, I was friends with both of them. You know, growing up in Avondale, I would watch both of them carry all this stuff out and see them sweating their ass off, like getting these crates together and stuff like that. And I became fascinated with that. Like, you know, you bringing out, you know, the brown power chords and everything else, like extension cords and things like that. You know, I was watching Biz pack his car up, and I was like, where are you going? Like, we out there playing, you know, freeze tag and stuff. Like, you know, Killer Man with the tennis ball.
Yeah. Killer Man.
And so watching him leave, like, he's like, I got a party to DJ. I was like, you taking all that stuff? Like, yeah. I was like, man, that's cool. He's like, yeah, and I get paid for it. It's like, you get what? Like, so I will always say that Biz, you know, D Money, Mad Max, like, you know, the pioneers, Butch Gibsons, and all the other legends, the Squires, and you know, salute to all of them for paving the way for our generation of DJs. So
Cincinnati is really slept on when it comes to not just, hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
but the music scene, period. Like we have a rich history
Mm-hmm.
in music, period. A lot of legendary artists have come through our city,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Can you speak on like how we look globally? I know you travel, as a DJ, you travel to other cities, you travel to other places.
Mm-hmm.
How does Cincinnati look on a global or national scale?
So to the average person, Cincinnati is a country to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They hear my voice, like, you got a country voice. Like, my voice is hardly not country. I'll tell you about a person that we can call right now. They got a down south country voice.
Right.
But I get it. Like we're not a big market, right? But what we are is truly versatile, right? And so as a DJ, when I go to other cities and DJ, they think I'm from any city but Cincinnati.
Wow. Okay.
So, for instance, during the pandemic, started live streaming on Twitch, and so people are like, "Oh man, you from New York?" Nah, cuz I'm from a tiny island called Cincinnati, right? And so then people's fascination with Cincinnati became that on Twitch, right? It wasn't many of us from Cincinnati on Twitch, which is a global platform. So now you getting exposed to a cat that's dope that you thought was from another region, but we are very versatile in the way that we DJ, right? We are, we talked about this before, the most southern Midwest city, which we align ourselves with the South more than anything, right? But everything comes through our side of the Midwest, right? East Coast, right? I remember like in the 90s, I was a backpacker, Jack. Like, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And so
you got DJ High Tech from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And when he did the blast and a lot of the music that he did, a lot of people probably thought he represented Cincinnati real hard. So you didn't have to wonder.
Yeah, I had to guess. Yeah.
But his sound, Cincinnati, I don't know, like it seems we don't have a sound. So it kind of sounded like it might have been East Coast, but he has so much elements of funk and things of that nature that originated in Ohio.
So I think, you bring up a good point. Because so many other artists use funk, that when we use funk, it seems like we emulate them. Exactly. But that's actually our sound, right?
Exactly.
It's our sound. Here. So soul and funk is Ohio.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Right. And so many people have taken our samples of our funk and soul that it's almost like they own it. It's like, nah, cuz this is Ohio. This is Ohio funk. Like all of it. Right. Yeah. So when we sample it or when we manipulate it or do whatever, like, oh, y'all just trying to be like blah, blah, blah. Like, no, this is home. Yeah. This is our soil. So to answer your question, we're very versatile, but our bread and butter is soul and funk.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. I think too, like, when you had Warren G and he had the G Funk, and then you got a lot of Dr. Dre stuff, and even NWA, like, Bootsy Collins was sampled for We Want Easy. So I think that's why they get that. I think that's why they look at it like us using that.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, but they just all you have to do is just read the liner notes, man.
They hope. That's what I miss about CDs and tapes is being able to just open up that packaging and reading those liner notes.
Yeah.
Seeing who produced what, where did this sample come from, who did they even thank? Like it's just certain things I miss about music that streaming is kind of taken away from that element. Just driving to the record store. Do you still use records or do you?
In my personal home, yes.
Okay.
But taking them out, no.
Yeah, because that's a lot of labor.
It is. It's probably a little easier now. But watching the cats that, like Diamond still does it. He does it a lot, and a few other cats, shout out to the vinyl DJs, and it's not a knock. But I salute y'all because
I didn't know if it was a thing with the DJs. Yeah, like it's like frowned upon if you still use your vinyl. But it's like to me, and I guess I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because it's like you might leave that one record at home, like dang. You
really got to be meticulous about what you're taking, and so from talking to a lot of the OGs and the legends, like going through and planning your sets. Now some of us plan our sets now, but it's digitally. But as far as vinyl, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna take a double of this. I'm gonna play that, and blah blah blah. So now you got all these crates, and if you miss a record, like that's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
Now, there's a resurgence of vinyl now, but you went through a time where you just couldn't get the newer stuff on vinyl.
Oh, okay.
So with the technology, so you're gonna have the people that love their vinyl, right? And there's no knock to that, right? There are some of those people that frown upon the DJs that never learned how to use vinyl, right? And I get you should learn the path of where you came from, but you also should learn whatever's gonna make you comfortable.
Indeed.
Because the honest truth, and a lot of people are gonna be mad at me, I've said this before, is that they don't care what you use.
They don't.
The crowd don't care.
The crowd don't know and don't care.
They don't care. Unless it's a crowd of DJs.
Right. DJs are going to be critical.
DJs are going to be critical. And they will be standing right here and back here and blah, 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 and looking over your shoulder to see what you're using. But, the average audience doesn't really care. Unless it's a specific event, like the DMC battles and the Red Bull 3 style and all that stuff, where you are supposed to use that. Like if you come into a Scratch Bastard event, a Scratch Barbecue, you go into a Jazzy Jeff bar, more likely they're going to have vinyl or, techniques or whatever. But technology is cheap and is different. We started out with the Betamax, dude. And then we moved to, the laser disc. That didn't work. And then we moved to VHS, right? And then we moved to, the Blu-ray and the DVD and stuff like that. Now everything's on our phone, right? So technology's going to forever change. You either embrace it or you get left in the dust.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I know, we all know how it started, but with technology, how has things impacted the DJ? And that's why I wanted to ask you that, because it's just like, everything is changing. I don't know if streaming is getting better or worse for the music element of it, but because, the artists just aren't getting paid.
Nah, it's hurting, definitely hurting the artists. It's making it easier to DJ in a sense, because everything is just so accessible. Right?
Yeah.
Music is everywhere now, where before, you used to have to wait for those exclusives, right? If you wanted the exclusive Dilla track, you had to hunt for it. Now,
remember those days.
You look it up on YouTube or something and it's more likely there, and so it makes the affordability of being a DJ easier, right? Every day they're coming out with something that's smaller and smaller and more compact and better sound cards and things like that. I remember some of the first controllers was about as big as this table, and then now they got something about as big as the microphones.
Wow.
Yeah, so
more powerful, bro.
It is, but it also comes down to who's manipulating that, whatever it is. You can have the best equipment in the world, but if you don't know how to take care of that crowd, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Yeah. Right. So it's the person that's actually using the equipment. But the people that's dancing, they don't care what you got. You can get the brand new blah 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 with the blend mixer, the butter fader and everything. They don't care. They just want to hear boots on the ground. They don't give a fuck.
Right. They want to get their faders out. So we talked about the elements that come with DJing and the different things and the technology, which leads us to this point.
Okay.
You are about to embark on this journey, Stereo 25.
Yes.
So when did you begin Stereo 25, and what was your motivation to do it?
Stereo 25 became a thought in my head back in 2010.
Okay.
All right. I think at that time I was DJing at the garage and celebrities and stuff. And, at some certain point in the night, you got to switch over. Like you got changeover. You know, the crowd changes and things like that, and you change your music, and then sometimes another DJ comes in, or hell, maybe I would come in to close out the night or whatever. And it's like, man, it would be cool to have a a stage of just different DJs and doing their thing. And then I remember seeing like on the West Coast they do the do-over.
Mm.
You know, it's like a small black party or an alley party, and they have a DJ and it's dope, and they have like maybe a couple DJs, and then you know the concept of the cool kids came along, me and the crew, and I was like, man, this would be great on a bigger scale, right? I see other cities do it, like you know, in Chicago is like the family reunion and the house music and stuff, and the DJs, they have like 7 or 8 DJs, and it's like a festival, a sea of people, as far as you can see. Icy Ice and Beat Junkies and stuff like that out on the West Coast, they get together and have events, right? So, and you know, other cats that's been here, like shout out to I think Diamond and a few other cats, Ballard, they were doing like specialty DJ events, like so Memorial Day or Labor Day. I think they had something called River Bash, so shout out to them, and they'll have a lineup of DJs like, for the day. And this is not that. So I know this is not the first time that there's been some type of DJ festival, right? But my goal was just a grander scale to where you can come and hear a DJ you probably never ever will get to hear, right? Because either you don't go to the places they DJ at, or you just don't have access to them, right? And it's also a fellowship with the DJs because we all work, right? So if I heard of this certain DJ and never had the chance to go get a chance to hear that person live, well, now I get to hear that person live, and you know, shake hands, break bread. You know, it's not a DJ competition. It's a highlight of the DJ.
Yeah, I like that.
So, I think the first year we did it on a stage outside of the Brady Center, and I think we had 27 DJs that day. And then the next year we had 4 stages. Man, that was crazy. And I think we had 70 something DJs. That was
all the DJs are from Cincinnati. They all local, or are they?
Most of them are.
Okay.
Because we have so much talent here, man.
Yeah, we do.
And we got a lot of DJs too. We got a lot of talent, and I believe that people should be heard and seen. And it's no knock to anybody outside of our perimeters, because there's a lot of dope DJs there too. But I want to concentrate on the local talent first,
yes,
and then branch out. Right. Like it wouldn't be fair to bring in a bunch of DJs from across the country, you know, when they go home, we still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to highlight local talent because we talented as hell.
We're very talented.
Yeah. So this year, well, to answer your question, it's always been a goal and a dream of mine to see if it can happen. You know, you look at you know, go back and look at movies like B Street and stuff, and they have multiple setups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like the DJ needs to be highlighted and respected.
Yes.
Right. We don't have MCs. And that's just because it's to highlight the DJ. Right. I may have a couple of people making announcements or something, but we highlighting the DJ. Like it's a DJ festival. Right. We don't have any acts, performing acts. And because we just want to make sure that you hear the DJ. Right?
I love it.
That might be the only time that person gets to be heard. Right? And they can get in their bag and do whatever they need to do for that 25 minutes. That's your set.
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah.
You show up late, it's still 25.
It's 25 minutes.
So you show up at your 20th minute, you better give a hell of a 5-minute show. It better be the best 5-minute show ever.
For sure. And so you're gonna have how many DJs at Stereo
So
25?
this year it'll be 58 DJs on 3 stages.
Okay.
Like we dropped a stage from last year. It was some things like after every year we go back and we do the pluses and minuses, the pros and cons, what worked, what didn't work, what was accessible, what was easy to get to, what was not. So we dropped a stage this year. So we had 3 stages. We got the skating rink, and this is all going down on Sawyer Point on May the 31st from 12 until the lights come on, until they kick us out. So the skating rink, which is down by is actually I found out was one of the United States' biggest open outside skating rinks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I found out
Wow.
I found out not too long ago, recently. Shout out to Skate Cincy, downtown Skate Cincy.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's, if you are listening and you're in the Cincinnati area, it's literally right next to Montgomery and Boathouse, downtown at Sawyer Point. So that will have festivities going on all day. But the stereo aspect of that stage starts at 2 o'clock and it goes all the way to 10 o'clock. And we got a bunch of dope veteran DJs, the skating DJs, and some new up and coming DJs. The skating world is like the motorcycle world. Like if you not part of that, you can't just come in and be like, go play blow the whistle. Like it don't work that way.
The skate community don't play that.
Nah, they don't play that. But and so that's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of great DJs there. Men, women, black, white, brown. Like it's very well diverse. And so they'll have like skating lessons over there, dance lessons. They got food trucks, all types of vendors over there, giveaways. So that's going to be its own little world, the skating community world. And so then you come over to the main stage, which is pretty much the middle of all 3 stages. So the main stage is the amphitheater at Sawyer Point, and that stage kicks off at noon, and we're going to 10 o'clock, and it's beast after beast the whole day.
You got that whole big line.
The whole big line. So you can come out, bring your lawn chairs. It's totally free. We got vendors, we got food trucks. So, when you come down, just expect not to leave. Just have a good time. And I know a lot of stuff is going on that day, but this is the only free event that you'll see in Cincinnati that's highlighting us. And I think you won't be disappointed. So you may find your new favorite DJ.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah. And so then we have the tunnel stage.
Yeah.
And that's where the assassins are. And once you get there and you see it, you'll understand why. So we're actually inside the tunnel. We got a stage inside the tunnel, and lights, got sound, and DJs on the platform, and they spinning. And it reminds you of some type of party you see on a movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these cats, like everybody, the stage that they're at is where they're supposed to be. And when I say assassins, like it's assassin after assassin after assassin. And you're like, oh my God, but you'll be able to walk around. Like that's the cool thing about it. Like it's the whole park. So you can walk around. There's food trucks at the tunnel stage, there's food trucks at the main stage, food trucks at the skating rink stage, there's vendors everywhere. Right. We're gonna have, I think, kids' activities and games, and there might be bouncy houses out there. Like, so it's family friendly. So, all the DJs will be playing the non-explicit version out of respect for people and their families, right? And it's going to be a good time. So it's about the DJ. It's a celebration of DJs.
As it should be. I mean, I love where hip hop is going. I'm not one of those old school guys that just hates on the new guys. I mean, there's certain things I don't like. I don't like how people are playing towards algorithms and things of that nature. I think we're getting too far away from the element of hip hop. Some of the basic things, some of the founders, you know, I want them to always be respected for the contributions that they made to this culture. They did it for the love, and they didn't get paid for it. It was just something that was in their heart, and this was their way to express themselves creatively. And so, for you to have this event in the park with all of these amazing DJs is bringing it back to the essence. And the beautiful thing is that, you know, you can bring your family, you can bring your children, and they can come and enjoy this. And this can be an early memory of theirs when they get older. I took pride when I was raising my daughter, and when, you know, I used to babysit my nephew, to really let them hear the early music, the early soul, funk, and things of that nature, and then bring them up to where we were at that time as far as the music, because I wanted them to have a respect for the foundation. And so I'm really excited about Stereo 25 coming to the city of Cincinnati and highlighting the DJ in the park. It's so fitting and it's so beautiful. So this is definitely something that you should definitely bring your family to enjoy and to witness. This is something that I think that the children need to see, because we got to keep that DJ element alive, because this is where it all started.
Absolutely.
You know, respect to the DJ. The DJ is save your life. You understand?
That's right. That's you think about that. And, you know, DJs, you know, do not take it as a knock if you were not on this one. You know, there'll be next year, God willing, you know, or the year after that. This is not something that's, you know, I purposely slighted people, because I'm getting the message like, man, you ain't big, man. Like, sometimes you just forget. Like you charge it to my brain, not my heart. But also on the flip side, you can't reach out and say, I want to be a part of it. And what happens is, because there are partners involved, right? There's sponsors involved. And, you know, every DJ has been vetted. Right? And if you say you want to be a part of this, and if you want to be a part of, you know, corporate type of stuff, you got to make sure your stuff is presentable. One, if you're a DJ, have some DJ stuff on your page. If they pull you up as a DJ and ain't nothing on there but some suspicious type activity, then no, they don't want you to represent that brand. And I don't want you to represent my brand.
That's right.
You know, you can be the best DJ in the world, but if you got some stuff that's not promotable, I can't use you. You know, and it's not a knock, it's just really a lesson learned. You know, if you reach out and say, I'm a DJ and I'm trying to figure out where are you DJing at, and I go to your page and there's nothing on there that says that you're a DJ, and I put you on that stage and you lay an egg, well, that's not on you, that's on me. You know what I mean? So it's those things that I wish that as DJs you learn the business a little bit better.
You are your brand. No matter what, you are your brand. I mean, whatever you put on your page, however you market yourself, however you present yourself, you are your brand. So be mindful of that. You know, Vada is a polished individual. You know,
I don't want to say how that.
No, you're a polished individual, brother, because you're a good person. Like, and that's just who you are. Like, Vada is a good person. He's not gonna slight anybody. You know what I mean? Vada is really.
I'm still at Aries though, man. I might.
You know, but trust me, you know what I mean? This man's character speaks for himself. So
I appreciate that.
Before you know, vet, or before you ask him something, just look at yourself, look at your brand and how you present yourself. You know what I mean? And look at yourself. If you're a DJ, then your page should be about DJing. Whatever it is that you do, your page should highlight that. That's your brand. That's just for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're a DJ or if you're a rapper or whatever you do. You know, your brand is who you are and how you present yourself, and people are going to look at that. And so present yourself in the way that you want to be seen, so that you can be seen in places you want to be. Ooh, that's a bar.
That is a bar. Write that down. So, I mean, the thing with that is that nobody taught me that. Right. And I had to learn that on my own. And, you know, I'm not going to take that to the grave with me. Like, hey, protect your brand.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to get tired of doing the gigs that you're doing and you want to move up into another realm or another level, because of course there's levels to DJing, right? And if you don't have anything to provide, if somebody come to you this day and say, hey, I need you to go on this tour with us, can you give me a sample of what you've done? You don't have nothing. I mean, that's a missed opportunity. Right? They may know, hold on, let me think about it. Phone calls. That's like, all right, here it is right here. You can go here, you can go there. I can send you a sample. You go to my website. And all right, what's the pay? Like, what we doing? Like, so you have to protect your brand, and Cincinnati has a lot of great DJs, but we have a lot of DJs.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know we had as many as you just said.
Man, that's only probably not even a quarter of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so many other talented DJs that we just didn't have space for. Right. And when we put it out in March, I think. And it was almost full by the end of March.
Wow.
Wow. And so it's a good thing that we had that much talent, but it's only that 58 DJs is only a smidgen of everybody that's here in the city.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And every name that's on there, like it's a good name. Right. And that just means that's, I'm not gonna say saturated, but just how talented the pool is. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, man, thanks so much, Vada, DJ Vada, for coming through and chopping it up. I'm Chakra Zulu. This is Beats, Rhymes, and Lounge. We live at the Key Spot. Remember, keys open doors. You understand?
Yeah.
So there's going to be more information on the Key Spot coming up soon. So stay tuned. And I just want to thank you again. The DJ is in the building.
I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service as well.
Thank you for your service, man.
I'm doing my best,
man. You keeping the legacy alive, bro.
I'm doing my best, man. That's the goal. You know what I mean? With Beats, Rhymes, and Lounge, it's just started with me just falling in love with the music, growing up, and being able to do the playlist for our road trips when me and my family would go out of town, and my dad would let me pick some songs off the 8-track.
There it is.
So, so I kind of felt like I was in a DJ element at a young age myself, so I know how it feels.
Come on, selector.
And
now look at you, it's global now.
Yeah, global, man. We pushing. So,
yeah, man.
So
I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
That's dope.
I really appreciate it.
Hey,
so
you doing the work, brother. You doing the work.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So look, get the Stereo 25. Respect the DJ, respect the selector. May 31st, downtown Sawyer Point, Yateman's Cove.
And it's free.
Bring the whole bring your grandma.
Bring your grandma.
Bring granddaddy. You know what I mean? Bring the kids, bring your babies, bring everybody. Come on out and let's celebrate the DJ. Peace.
Peace.
My man.
Man, that was fun.
That was easy.